You're listening to the Talkative Toastmaster podcast. I'm your host, Melanie Surplus. In this podcast, we explore how Toastmasters can help you to polish your public speaking skills, communicate with confidence, and amplify your authenticity. You'll hear from my fellow Toastmasters and I how this global organisation has impacted our lives for the better and how it could impact yours. Now, let's get talkative. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the very first episode of the Talkative Toastmaster podcast. I'm so excited to finally get this project up and running. It's a passion project for me, and I'll share more of the background of the project and myself in a couple of episodes. But I'd really like to use this episode to address what ultimately got me started in all of it, and also to address perhaps why you might be listening. Today I'm going to explore the fear of public speaking, what impact this fear can have on your personal and professional life, and most importantly, what you can do about it. Now, I'm sure it's not news to you when I say that public speaking remains one of the most prevalent fears among people universally, often surpassing the fear of heights, spiders, and even death. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, glossophobia, or the fear of public speaking, affects an estimated 75% of us. That's 3/4 of the population, leading to symptoms ranging from mild anxiety to severe panic attacks. Comedian Jerry Seinfeld once said of a similar study, "This means to the average person, if you go to a funeral, you're better off in the casket than doing the eulogy." Ah! Can you relate? This fear can be debilitating and can hinder your personal and professional growth. Yet, understanding its roots and employing some of the strategies I'll discuss later in this episode can pave the way for conquering that fear and unlocking your full potential as a speaker. Let's delve into the intriguing world of public speaking fears. We've all been there, standing in front of a crowd with those butterflies in our stomachs, wondering why our knees feel like jelly and hoping the ground will just open up and swallow us whole. But fear not, because we're going to explore why it happens, learn some savvy strategies to kick those jitters to the curb, and discover what I believe is the single most effective thing you can do if you're terrified of public speaking. So what makes public speaking so scary? Let's look at some of the theories. First, there's the idea of evolutionary jitters. Some researchers propose that the fear of public speaking may be traced to our evolutionary instincts. From the dawn of time, humans have had a deep-seated fear of social rejection. Public speaking, in essence, is a social activity and can trigger primal responses related to the fear of rejection and isolation. Picture our ancestors huddled round that nice warm campfire, sharing tales crucial for survival. Back then, social acceptance meant everything. And guess what? That fear of being rejected is still etched deep within us. Second, there may be a biological basis of fear. Research published in the Journal of Psychological Science suggests that there may be a genetic predisposition to the fear of public speaking. People with a family history of social anxiety or specific phobias may be more prone to experiencing fear in public situations. Third, we need to look at the idea of the dread of judgment. Another prominent theory related to public speaking anxiety is the fear of negative evaluation, or FNE theory. Research suggests that individuals who fear negative evaluation from others, that is, being judged, are more likely to experience anxiety in social and performance situations, including public speaking. That inner voice of doubt? Yep, it's real. It's like having a persistent judge critiquing our every word. You know that pesky little voice. Which brings me to my fourth point. Social pain is real. Did you know that our brains process social pain, the kind you feel when embarrassed or rejected, much like physical pain? So, when you fear public speaking, your brain might interpret it as an actual potential threat to your well-being. Fifth, there may be control issues. The fear of the unknown and the lack of control over the audience's reactions or unforeseen circumstances can contribute significantly to the fear of public speaking. Public speaking is like riding a roller coaster of unpredictability. Not knowing what might happen, whether it's a tech glitch, forgetting our words, or being asked an unexpected question, can really send our nerves into a tailspin. But having discussed some of the theories about why people fear public speaking, let's look at the impact it could have. Picture this. A speaker takes to the stage, visibly anxious, their words stumbling like a toddler taking their first steps. What's the fallout of this seemingly harmless scenario? Well, it turns out the impact can be even more profound than we might think. Firstly, there's audience disconnect. An anxious speaker often struggles to establish a connection with the audience. That nervous energy can create a barrier, making it difficult for listeners to engage with the message. Lack of confidence may also project a sense of uncertainty, leading the audience to question the credibility of the speaker and the content being presented. This is not great in a work environment. Secondly, there's the loss of credibility. Confidence is often equated with competence. An anxious speaker might unintentionally erode their perceived credibility, leaving the audience hesitant to trust the information being shared. Listeners may find it challenging to invest in the speaker's messages when the delivery lacks conviction and assurance. Thirdly is failure to persuade. Public speaking often involves persuasion, whether it's selling a product, proposing an idea, or inspiring change. An anxious speaker may struggle to convey the persuasiveness needed to win over an audience. Their hesitation in delivery can dilute the impact of their intended message, making it challenging for the audience to be swayed or convinced. Fourthly, there's stunted professional growth. In a professional setting, the inability to communicate confidently can hinder career advancement. Opportunities for promotions, leadership roles, and impactful projects may just slip through the fingers of someone grappling with public speaking anxiety. Confidence in public speaking is often associated with leadership skills, and a lack of them might stall one's climb up the professional ladder. Then there can also be personal stress and frustration. Constant anxiety about public speaking can lead to chronic stress and frustration. Can you relate to this one? The fear of upcoming presentations or speaking engagements can cast a shadow over one's daily life, impacting mental and emotional well-being. The frustration stemming from the inability to communicate effectively may contribute to a negative cycle, reinforcing the fear of public speaking. And number 6, missed opportunities. An anxious, non-confident speaker may inadvertently decline or avoid opportunities altogether that involve public speaking, missing out on chances for personal and professional growth. Whether it's declining to lead a meeting or turning down a chance to speak at a conference, the fear of public speaking can limit exposure and hinder the expansion of one's network. So, we've looked at some of the murky implications of the fear of public speaking. And I don't know about you, but when I first started this whole journey, I could relate to a whole lot of those. But let's now address the most important question. How do we tackle this beast called glossophobia? I have 4 suggestions for you, and then one epic bonus tip, so stay right till the end for that one. Firstly, preparation and practice. Thorough preparation and practice are crucial in boosting your confidence in speaking. Being familiar with the material and your presentation space can significantly reduce anxiety. Rehearsing in front of a mirror or friends or family can also help to build your confidence. Secondly, you may want to consider breathing and relaxation techniques. Learning and practicing breathing exercises or relaxation techniques such as meditation or mindfulness can help manage anxiety before and during a speech. Or if you really need to, you can repeat to yourself, "I am not going to die. The ground is not going to swallow me whole. I am safe." Sometimes you've got to do whatever it takes. Then we can look at cognitive restructuring. You can also identify and challenge your negative thoughts associated with public speaking. Replace self-defeating thoughts with positive affirmations. And that might include something like, "I can handle my speaking assignments with ease and grace. My words come easily to me. I am a confident public speaker. I know my subject matter. I am an expert in what I'm speaking about. People want to hear my opinion." Also, it's helpful to realize that making mistakes is part of the learning process. And oh boy, creating this podcast, I'm seeing all manner of new idiosyncrasies about my voice, about the way I breathe, about the way I speak, but it's all part of the learning process, which is one of the reasons I'm challenging myself to do this podcast. By doing it, I'm going to eventually and hopefully improve. So again, recognizing that we might be starting from an inexperienced base is fine. Things can only get better as we learn. Number 4, start small and progress. Begin with smaller speaking assignments. Volunteer to do a team presentation at work, or speak at a local community group, or any other social environment that may help you to gain exposure and experience in a supportive environment. So to recap those points so far, we've talked about number 1, preparation and practice. Number 2, breathing and relaxation techniques. Number 3, cognitive restructuring and using positive affirmations. And number 4, starting small and progressing from there. My bonus tip, number 5, for me personally, has been a case of practicing public speaking as often as I can, in the most supportive environment possible, like Toastmasters. In the next couple of episodes, we're going to dive deep into what Toastmasters actually is, how it's organised, what happens at meetings, and most importantly, how it can help you to succeed at work, home, and everywhere in between. So stay tuned for those episodes. In wrapping up this episode, we've discussed how the journey from being a fear-stricken speaker to a confident orator is all about understanding and tackling fear head-on. We've looked at the impact this fear can have on your personal and professional life, and most importantly, some introductory strategies to handle this. It's definitely not an overnight transformation, but rather a journey of growth and self-discovery. Let me assure you that it's all absolutely doable though. By consistently practicing these strategies, we can all unravel our potential as effective communicators and smash the stronghold of glossophobia. If you're ready to unlock your potential, consider joining a Toastmasters club near you. Check out the Find a Club link on the Toastmasters International website at www.toastmasters.org. It's worth visiting a couple of different clubs as a guest to see which club best suits you. If you do take the leap and visit a meeting, I would absolutely love to hear your experience. Feel free to message me at talkativetoastmaster@gmail.com or tag me in the comments if you found this podcast on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Thanks for listening to today's show. Head to talkativetoastmaster.com where you'll find the show notes for this and all other episodes, as well as links to some awesome Toastmasters resources. If you found value in today's content, I'd really appreciate if you could share it with friends and colleagues who may be interested, or leave a review on iTunes. This will help more people to find us. Until next time, remember the words of Eleanor Roosevelt. You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. So let's face that fear and step into the spotlight with confidence and grace. Have a great week.